Alright guys, thanks for tuning back in. I'm Adam and today we're on the 24 Indian Pursuit. I know I'm a little late to the game, but we're going to talk about what I think about Indian being sold off from Polaris. Now I don't want to get into a lot of the crazy details because I know, like I said, I'm late to the game and all the other channels have kind of talked about all the news from the sale and everything. We know Polaris is keeping a small stake, and I think that's a good thing. Normally when these equity firms get a hold of stuff, you know, they want to piece it off and sell it, and that doesn't seem to be the case with Carolwood. And then, you know, with Mike Kennedy coming in and having 30 years of motorcycle experience, you know, I think the brand is going to be in good hands. I'm not really too concerned about it, even though, you know, I did just get this Pursuit. You know, I've had it for a year now. There's not a lot of dealerships around me anyway that are Indian. I got to go down to Macon, you know, if I want to go to an Indian dealership, or the one in Columbus where I bought this bike from. So I'm not really worried about like any dealerships closing or anything like that near me. But I do think what we'll see is maybe less models. And by that, you know, if you look at the FTR, I don't think the FTR was marketed right at all, you know, and there were several variations of that. You had the Rally, the Sport, the Carbon R. I mean, you know, even the last year they made it, they had 2 limited editions of it. And the same thing with the Scout. The Scout has numerous variations of it. I think you got, what, the Scout 60, the Scout 60 Bobber, the Scout Classic, the 101, the Rogue or Sport, you know, I'm not sure what they call it. Then you have the is it the Super Sport, the one with the taller windshield and bags on it. To me, I think we may see some of these offerings go away, because I know if you're looking at it from a money pincher, you know, capitalist idea, all of that stuff that's on those different variations of the Scout should be in a what do they call it, a PG&A, parts, gear and accessory catalog, you know. And then you just offer the Scout 60, the 101, and then maybe the Super, I don't know what it is, I can't think of it, but you know what I'm getting at. You offer less variations of it and hope that people come and buy like the classic fender to put on theirs, or, you know, the touring bags or whatever it is. You know, from a money perspective, I could see something like that happening. But then again, I also realize and understand not a lot of people want to mess with their motorcycles or cars once they're bought. They want to buy it like that from the factory, no worries. And I think that's a cool thing that you have that variation. But at what time, you know, are you cannibalizing yourself with so many different models? You know, I don't know what they're going to do with that sense. I'm hoping they have free reign to do whatever they want to do. I would like them to see possibly bring back the FTR. There's a FTR down at Macon that I'm eyeballing, you know. I mean, I kind of would love to add one of those to the collection that I have, you know. So as far as buying another bike from them with being sold off and stuff, you know, I'm nowhere near worried about what that means for parts or service, you know, anything like that. I know some people are probably thinking, you know, is this going to be like Harley when AMF got a hold of them, or is this going to be the same thing as Victory? But again, I really don't think there's nothing to worry about with it. I think it's going to be a good opportunity for growth, because I think Harley has been motivated and improved their motorcycles thanks to what Indian's done with the Pursuit and the Chieftain. You know, if you look at when the FTR came out to the Sportster S, so the competition is still good there. And I think Indian getting out from under Polaris will actually let Indian kind of focus more on it, you know, because Polaris has their own headache with Can-Am, you know, in the off-road segment. So if you're into that stuff, I don't know what your opinion is, but you know, you got the Razor R, and then the, what is it, I don't know, Can-Am, you know, I used to have one, the X3 RR Turbo R, or whatever the heck it all is, you know. I mean, that little side-by-side fight right there with Can-Am and Polaris, if you don't know about that or you're not into that stuff, that's a huge battle for, you know, the guys that are into all that stuff. So I, for one, think it's good that Indian's getting out from under. What do we think we'll see down the road? I think there'll be new models? I don't really think so. I think they're just going to fine-tune what they already have, you know, because the whole engine options that are available, like their whole lineup is just kind of confusing, you know, at times. It's like, do you want the air-cooled one? Do you want a water-cooled one? With the Scout, are you getting a Scout that has navigation or analog stuff? Like, you know, it's just when you walk in there to the dealership, you may not be fully aware of what all options are available to you depending on what your dealership has on the showroom floor. So I personally would like to see the brand kind of tidy that up. And you know, as far as marketing, I don't even watch cable TV. You know, I have my little streaming apps that I watch and the YouTube channels that I watch. So I really don't know how their marketing is going, but I just know it seems like there's too many models for some of them, you know, because that's like the what is it, the Chieftain? I think you could get that water cooled or air cooled now, and I get some people prefer that option, and that's cool. You know, I could really, I don't have an opinion on that one way or the other. Well, I do. Your water cool's gonna put out more power. I mean, I'm sorry guys, like whatever, but just make one and stick with it, so when people go into a dealership, they know what to expect. I think, you know, just have better marketing of the options and everything that it's laid out on, because you might look at it online, but then when you go to the dealership to look at it, you see something else or whatever, you know. Like I said, I've just experienced that going and looking at the Scouts, like, oh, which one is this? And I think Mike Kennedy being the CEO is definitely a good thing. It's a whole lot better than Harley with their Top Golf guy, in my opinion. You know, I mean, I don't know much about him, but you know, I don't want a plumber to come work with me on the electrical side of things, if you know what I'm saying. And so why would you want a pizza guy dictating your motorcycles? Like, I mean, he might be good for marketing, he might know how to sell the brand, but is he really going to be good on pushing the brand and telling the engineers and design teams, you know, what he wants and what's going to do good? But either way, again, I'm hoping like a really good rivalry. Well, there's already the rivalry, right? But I'm just hoping that this opens up a whole lot more R&D for Indian, which will push Harley too, because, you know, don't forget, I had the Lowrider ST before I had this, and I got rid of that to get into the Indian brand, and I'm still happy with that decision. This is a great motorcycle. I need to get a new front tire for it and get rid of the wobble, but other than that, you know, it's been great. So I honestly have no concerns. I don't think anybody else should have any concerns. I think we should watch the first year close and see what happens, and then, you know, after, so this all happens like January 1st or whatever, so let's just see how the first year go and then really see what we think and see what happens. But as of right now, for a panic mode, I don't think there's any reason to panic whatsoever. I think it's going to be good for not only Indian, but I think it's going to be good for Harley too. So Alright guys, well that's all I got to say about that. If you like what you're seeing, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Tune in for the next video where I don't know what bike we're going to be taking out, but I appreciate all you guys tuning in for the Ninja content. Makes me kind of think most of y'all are into the Ninja stuff. But put some comments down below. Are y'all buying up parts or anything like that? You know, extra oil kits or anything? Are you concerned about Indian and the sell-off? How are you handling it? What are you thinking about it? But yeah, stay safe, ride safe, and be blessed, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.